days of long ago, created by the cosmic legends of the universe. There stands one man, one great man, a man dedicated to preserving all that is good in pop culture. Loved by few, hated by many. Alone in his fortress of awesomeness, he battles fearlessly against the wolf, the evil, the unjust. To right that which is wrong, to stand for justice, to serve all mankind. He is the one, the only, the Comic Relief Crusader.
Hello, everybody out there in the YouTubeosphere. You have entered Titillating Tuesday, episode 35, Enter the Geekosphere. And glad to have you all aboard. And yeah, running a little late, but that's okay. Everybody's here and whatnot. And we have to add to the stream. Pop, how's it going?
Hey, going well.
Nice. How's your week been?
Oh, pretty good so far.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's great to be back on board for another Titillating Tuesdays of more fun and mirth and merriment and whatnot. And we already have. You're starting what?
Starting a wee bit late though, but that's all right.
Yeah, things to do, people to see, and whatnot. So
understandable.
Oh yeah, and we got Admiral Teague here. Hail, Admiral Teague. And we got Tim the Enchanter. Hail, Tim the Enchanter. Great to have you here. And Super Goji Reviews is in the chat as well. Hail, Super Goji. I have some bad news, dude. My phone is just dying. The screen is cracked. And a black mark is forming. Have to sell my comics.
Oh,
dude,
that's not good.
No, that's not good at all. Dang it. My Godzilla comics had them for 9 years. Oh, bummer, dude. And the Lost Wanderer. Hail, dude. How's it going, man? Great to have you here. Yeah, and for everybody that's popping in, well, there is a link in the chat if you want to hop on board. Like our good old Admiral Teague is right now. You are all welcome to join in the fun and mirth and merriment that is Titillating Tuesday. Hail, Admiral Teague. How's it going, dude?
Oh, give me a second.
No, you get no seconds to be like delaying things. How's it going, bud?
He's still working on it.
Still working.
Great.
It's all good.
Oh man. Well, you had a good show on with Anti-Derivative Jill. That was awesome.
It was really, I always love being on with Anti-Derivative Jill, and I got to be on what I think everyone can tell from my avatars. My absolute favorite episode of Star Trek TOS, the Doomsday Machine, where we covered it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I thought we did a pretty good job. I only made one mistake.
Really?
Yeah, I only made one mistake. I forgot the guy wrote 2 Star Trek scores, and I just named the wrong Star Trek score. I thought he had scored. The thing is, it was the episode after Amok Time that we were covering, and I did so much research. I had like research brain, and I couldn't remember it. So like when I blurted out that it was the composer of also Amok Time, I got like counter said, and I was like, wait, hold on a minute. and I checked it, and it was like, yeah, you're right, it's enemy within. So aside from one small mistake, I feel like I did okay. I was able to self-correct. My rule is I'll make mistakes. I just I will self-correct, and
I'm sure
just
the
looking
gods
forward
of Star
to
Trek will forgive you.
Star Trek will forgive me. Other people may not, but Star Trek will.
Meh. That's okay.
You know what though? I'll drop that in the chat if you don't mind, just so people
You
can
may.
catch anti-derivative. Thank you, Comic Relief Crusader. You are indeed kind and benevolent. Hey, PCO, what's going on, Pop?
Hey, how's it going? Going well.
Nice.
Just feeling good. I'm thinking about getting a tattoo of a pigeon with a Met hat across my entire back.
Really?
Okay.
That sounds glorious.
I'll be in the post if I do it.
Oh, there we go. Awesome. Well, to everybody in the stream here, usually we like to share some stupid news of the week, and of course, thanks to many stupid people out there, there's no shortage of stupid news out there. So we're going to be sharing this. For all you parents out there, don't play with your kids.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 3 kids under 10 who don't expect or even want to play with me. It took some practice, but over time,
we've all learned they're better off doing our own thing. God,
those poor
Yes.
kids.
Yes, people.
Or is it the poor parents? Do the kids just rather play video games? Who's opting out here?
I don't know. I haven't the faintest idea. God, like you know what? As a parent, play with your kids. That's why you have kids.
Seriously.
It gives you an excuse to become a kid again.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Like, by the way, as a New York Times subscriber, this is just one of those opinions. Like, people ask me, what are your feelings on one thing or another? It's like I've been scoffing at things in the paper all my life. My parents have always had a New York Times subscription along with the Daily News.
There you go.
Their opinion section is sometimes from the fucking moon. The New York Times Magazine, yeah, you know what? Give me the science section.
Yeah. The actual science section?
The science section of the New York Times is really interesting.
Is it really?
It really is. The art section of the New York Times Magazine is really interesting. The New York Times Magazine is a really good magazine. The thing is, its opinion section is crazy hot takes a lot of the time.
Oh, really? Huh.
Not of the level you would see from a West Coast paper.
Oh, well, that's true. I'll give it that much. So,
New York's brand of being Democrat is somewhat Republican in nature because it's such an engine of the economy of the nation. So people have even though like Democrats sort of run this town, they're not like for instance, like Gavin Newsom would not be elected dog catcher in New York. I can't imagine it. I mean, we had a guy who was worse, but I mean, at least acted worse. But Cuomo, for whatever reason, like he was able to like sell people on the idea he was reasonable, and running Cynthia Nixon against him wasn't the smartest idea in the primary.
No, probably not.
No.
But you know what? If you got kids, play with your kids. They're going to remember that for the rest of their lives. You know, that their parents took time to want to be with their kids and enjoy their kids.
Yep.
And hey, James Caserta, nice to see you here again tonight.
Yeah, cancel your digital subscription to the New York Times and get Steam and play with your kids, hang out with them, do something with them. You're right.
Oh, there you go. And see, James Caserta gave you a good compliment there. Everything about coming at Canadian Teague, you have a funny voice delivery.
Thank you. That's that is quite a compliment. Thank you, guys. What did someone say? It sounded like Keanu Reeves on Ludes trying to crossplay as Spicoli.
And you deliver it so expertly.
Well, Napoleon is bogus, man.
And hail Guatemalan Rooster. Hola.
Hello.
I love that name, Guatemalan Rooster.
That is a good name.
That is a good name.
Yep.
But yeah, guys, if you got kids, play with your kids. Take the time, be part of their world, even if it's for a half an hour or an hour or something like that.
That's why parents have them, unless you're the kind of parent where your kids give you a timeout.
Well, yeah. Or the reason I had kids is for cheap slave labor, So, week has gone by already. Time to mow the lawn there.
And playing with your kids doesn't necessarily. Maybe be interactive and play, but watching TV with your kids, just being with them,
Yeah.
Some of my best memories as a kid, watching the Mets lose with my dad.
That's right. Exactly.
Get them started on classic episodes of old Star Trek.
That's exactly. See, there you go.
My dad would watch Star Trek with me before the Met game. He loved Star Trek, and then we would watch the Mets, and he kind of hated the Mets.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Or like Guatemalan Russo says, I can't imagine having kids and not playing with them. A lot of my friends who have kids, those kids are the joy of their life. Yep, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. You know what? And and like you said, Teague, that's kind of how I got into Star Trek as well. I watched the old episodes, TOS, with my dad, with my mom and dad. They enjoyed it, and then I got into Next Generation, and that's why I got a big appreciation for Star Trek.
I don't know how much my dad. I don't know if my dad was even mentally engaging with the show. Who just comments from my dad would be like, we'd be watching games of the Triskele. He'd be like, I like this episode. That chick in the tinfoil outfit's hot. He's a New York City cop. What do you want?
My late evangelist father used to gather us as a family to watch TNG back in the day. See, yeah, there you go, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? That show, no controversy, no stranger to controversy, talking about atheism as a fact, other stuff that not easy to do, and still an incredible show that united people. Good Star Trek brings people together. Bad Star Trek drives us apart.
Exactly.
Yep.
Let's see. And the next news that I thought was kind of funny is this one. A study shows kids who are homeschooled could miss out on an opportunity to be a gay communist.
My parents really fucked me over on that one. I went to Catholic school. I had a chance for a whole range of other opportunities, but oh my God.
Shame on those parents that homeschooled their kids.
Yes.
You know what?
Parenting.
I do know one. I know one qualified homeschool teacher. My friend's wife was a teacher, and she simply retired to teach their kids because he made enough money to do it. It was just, she's a qualified teacher with a teaching license. I still don't know if that makes her objective enough, but
probably. James Caserta says SMW fans are psychotic. Well, I can't argue with you there. So.
Hey,
you know what? I was homeschooled in my later schooling years, like from grade 9 to 12, and later on when we had kids, we homeschooled them as well, and I'm glad that they missed out on the opportunity of being a gay communist. Wholeheartedly.
I just think you're doing a terrible disservice to all the gay communists out there listening to our show, and now they can't see themselves in us.
I know.
I will try homosexuality and communism later tonight, guys. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm such a Nazi that way. So.
You really are.
You like how I played that one out, huh? So,
yeah.
I did not see that coming.
No,
you
did not. James Caserta, I think I'm a gay communist. Oh, mercy.
Could it be just the tip communism, and just the tip homosexuality? Can we maybe less on?
I'm just exploring.
Does it have to be public restroom homosexuality and full on Stalinism? Yeah, it probably does, right?
Yeah, probably. JRC says, I survived Portland, Oregon public school system. Dude, you are brave.
Wow. Yeah.
Kudos to you, my friend. Wow.
Oh, you know what?
Congratulations.
the New York City School District voted after 312 years that they promised that you will be able to read if you make it to 8th grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hope.
319 years after the opening of the first public school, they finally decided it was worth making that promise. In fact, where is that story? It's just, and by the way, Tucker Carlson's coming to Twitter.
He is too. Yeah, he is. I saw that post. That's amazing.
Okay.
So, I have does that mean we should go on Twitter eventually?
Maybe. Maybe. Oh boy, I would love to arouse the ire on Twitter that way. Boy, oh boy. But yeah, homeschooling, it's a good thing. Get them out of the public school system. This is just a big letter K for effort, I'm telling you. So I was going to go with G, but I wasn't sure on the spelling. But G would be gay. So
yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
okay. I know, right? I love our stupid news. God, it's so good. So full of angst. So let's see. So there was a couple of interesting things I saw in the news today, and usually I just like to cover the news that nobody else does, but I thought this is pretty neat, and I'll just bring this up in a second because I love Jaws, and I do love Richard Dreyfuss, who actually obviously was in Jaws. And so I thought this interesting article would be great to bring up. Let me bring it up here.
I also I'm giving you a little gift in the private chat.
Oh, are you?
This is because I need to have the freaking paper just to know what's going on. Next, you can gifted you the article about how New York City is now going to teach people how to read. From the New York Times.
Okay, you know what? Actually, seeing how we're on the subject of schooling anyway, why don't we cover that first? Yeah, we'll cover that first.
Schooling and so-called higher education.
It's a 3-minute read, an 11-minute read for a New Yorker.
Okay. So we'll get through this in 2 probably.
Yeah.
So here we have some communist propaganda from the New York Times newspaper that I have a subscription to.
Okay.
You know me.
New York is forcing schools to change how they teach their children how to read. Oh boy, this is going to be awesome. Okay. Half of school children in grades 3 to 8 failing reading tests. The city school's chancellor, who have faulted the current approach, will begin rolling out new curriculums this year. Oh, this should be good.
It gets worse, but wait, it gets worse.
Oh, does it? Oh, God, this is great.
You've just started to wade into, we're going to be laughing at the fact that the entire world is dumb as fuck, and this is why Book of Boba Fett did well in Rotten Tomatoes. A lot of things are going to start to make sense right now, because I just want to say, this is not an opinion part of the paper. This is the part of the paper that wins Pulitzers for making sense.
Oh, there we go.
You get news from the New York Times. It's their opinion section that's from the moon and where everyone is on crack.
Oh, okay. Well, that's even better then.
I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, Tim the Enchanter. Hooked on phonics work for me.
I love the Daily News. Is probably the most accurate paper to represent people here, but that's free.
There we go. Hundreds of public schools have been teaching reading the wrong way for at least 2 decades, leaving an untold number of children struggling to acquire a crucial life skill, according to the New York City school chancellor. Now,
you don't say.
Really?
Oh. Who knew? Who knew?
Now, David C. Banks, the chancellor. God, it sounds like Star Wars with the with the whole Senate, right? The chancellor.
And now you understand why I pay $1 a week to read this fucking version of the news. By the way, the nation's paper of record saying that you should teach people how to read before they get out of 8th grade.
And telling him that he
you're the
learned
one
how to
reading
read
this.
while reading the newspaper.
I'm so glad I learned how to read in Nassau County.
Oh, irony! Thy name is the New York Times.
The fact is, most people in the city cannot read this paper. Please press here for the audio.
Okay.
By the way, this will read it for you. I think you have that option. You can let we can let the AI read this to us.
There we go. That'd be even better. But then again, I want to exercise my brain here. So
you didn't go to school in New York. You don't need the AI.
Yeah,
that's right. Now, David C. Banks, the chancellor, wants to sound the alarm and is planning to force the nation's largest school system to take a new approach. Oh, I can't wait for this.
Can I just say, I have something I need to tell you, Mayor Adams. There's this thing called legally operative terms. You just told everyone for the last 20 years that you didn't provide the basic fucking civil right, you fucking idiot. Just because they're too stupid to read doesn't mean there aren't ambulance chasers. There's going to be commercials on TV tomorrow. Are you too dumb to fucking get a job because you went to school here? Join our law. There will be a lawsuit. Idiots.
On Tuesday, Mr. Banks announced major changes to reading instruction in the aim to tackle the persistent problem about half of city children in grades 3 through 8 are not proficient in reading. Black, Latino, and low-income children fare even worse. In a recent interview, Mr. Banks said that the city's approach had been fundamentally flawed and had failed to follow the science of how students learn to read.
We used the alphabet. We really fucked up. Vowels. A lot of bullshit. That's the oppressor word. A-E-I-O-U. What makes them so goddamn special? Those are the oppressor letters.
They're probably trying to teach Chinese. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Times.
Oh, here we go. It's not your fault. It's not your child's fault. It was our fault. Oh my God, they're taking accountability.
They're getting so fucking sued. And
man.
Who is able to read the New York Times takes any solace in this? It's not getting to the right people here. This needs to be like a billboard in like cartoon form.
Yeah, exactly. It was our fault, Mr. Banks said. This is the beginning of a massive turnaround.
The beginning of a commercial for a lawsuit that's going to be massive.
20 years too late. Like, it took you 20 years to figure this out?
I could have told you this. They changed it, for a while in the 2000s, and they were using proven methods, but from Sweden. And I'm like, maybe New York and Sweden have nothing in common.
I think you might be right on that.
Yeah,
definitely.
I like how they've been saying that they've been dropping. Yeah, I like how they've been saying that they've been dropping a ball for 2 decades.
How many people have graduated and now that's going to be the beginning of a commercial for a lawyer's firm that's like, it's not your fault, it's ours that you can't read. Were you cheated by the New York City Public Board of Education by the inability to read? Do you have ADD or any other problem or have been hurt by any way? Call us at Ambulance Chaser, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. And we are suing Eric Adams, who is proving the 2-name trope by having look like an untrustworthy person here.
That's right.
And he hired a guy who went out there and threw everybody before him under the bus, which would, by the way, I'd just like to point out, National Teachers Association President Randy Weingarten was the head of the New York City Board of Education and Teachers Union while this miscarriage of education was going on. Where was she on this? What does she have to say? Randy?
Guatemalan Rooster says, meanwhile, I was reading the Bible and Lord of the Rings before the 6th grade. Yeah, exactly, right?
Cool.
That is pretty cool. James Caserta, teach them to dribble a ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
GR, yuck, who reads Lord of the Rings? No, lots of people read Lord of the Rings. Come on. And James says, instead of dumbing down, just keep them dumb. Yeah. Exactly, right? That's what they're doing. Over the
wait,
next,
it gets worse. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is this a tip of the iceberg sort of thing? It gets worse as we go in the story.
I was trying to set Mike up there. So here, ready? But don't worry, it gets worse.
Yeah. Over the next 2 years, the city's 32 local school districts will adopt one of 3 curriculums selected by their superintendents. The curriculums use evidence-supported practices, including phonics.
That's called the fucking alphabet.
which teaches children how to decode letter sounds and avoid strategies many reading experts say are flawed, like teaching children to use picture clues to guess words.
I take back what I said about homeschooling.
Oh my God.
Exactly. We're going to give every
This is
kid
why tons of homeschoolers fare way better than those kids in the public school system. This is why. Like, because you're not teaching them anything at school. God, if you're in grade 3 to 8 and you still don't know how to read, I don't know. Could there be a problem? Probably.
Yeah, but I mean, I got to be a crip in New York City public high schools. That's got to be worth something. I put that on my job resume all the time.
That's PE skills right there. That's, that's physical education. So,
right. Also pretty good with a can of spray paint.
Yeah, got to learn. Yeah, and that's art class right there.
Hey, you know what? I'm a stereotype. I'm a very dumb Latino man who went to high school in New York City. Oh my God, it's not my fault.
No, it's not. That's right. Claim that victimhood. The move represents a sea change in the city where principals have historically retained authority over approaches to teaching at their individual schools. Half of the districts will begin the program in September.
Wait till everyone else stays dumb for a little while longer. Oh my God.
Just be patient, kids. Just be patient. The dumbness will end soon, but only in the new school year.
Oh my God.
The others will start in 2024.
Wow.
You don't have the right to learn how to read until then. But
so some others will have a year. Waivers to opt out will only be considered for schools where more than 85% of the students are proficient in reading, a threshold that is only about 20 schools meet. Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my, what?
That's crazy.
Shouldn't that be 100%? If like, come on here. Waivers to opt out will only be considered for schools where more than 85% of students are proficient in reading. Well, let's see. That should be 100% of students should be proficient in reading for them to opt out.
Yeah, it shows that they're comfortable with 15% of their students being complete morons.
Or less, because it's
it's more than. Yeah.
You know what? Like 60% of all graduates of New York City high schools plan after college is to join the military, but they're trying to join the 7 Nation Army. They're so fucking dumb.
Oh God!
I figure the 7 Nation Army won't let me down and probably won't hold me back.
Just send them to what was that? The French
to Wichita, far away from this soap opera
French
forevermore.
Yeah, the French Foreign Legion. Just send them to the French Foreign Legion.
Yeah.
And hang out in the Sahara Desert for the rest of all eternity.
Well, now that I'm too old, but I said we bring back the draft.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's thin out the herd right there. So,
you know what? And unless you can prove that you could be useful in another service, you should have to be in the Marines, because I hear that's like the hardest one to be in, right?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you have to earn your way out of it. Now that wouldn't apply to me. Anyway, It gets worse.
Guatemalan Rooster says, kids in school are going to treat the genders like Pokemon.
Wow.
Gotta catch them all or something. And Lost Wanderer, they need a Pokemon ad to keep track of them all.
Now notice the New York Times using Times New Roman there. Just like they originated that brand. So anyway, this is the most well-written article about being dumb I've ever read. Think about it. It's for a city of people who can't read.
Okay. The nation's biggest district joins a push to change reading. The move represents the most significant reading overall in New York City since the early 2000s, when some of the programs that the chancellor is now trying to uproot were first ushered in. It will immediately place the city at the forefront of a growing national movement to reform reading instruction. Experts, lawmakers, and families have pushed to abandon strategies that a mass of research shows do not work for all students and to embrace a set of practices known as the science of reading. Oh boy, this should be really good. Let's see. Yeah, more on U.S. schools.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is actually part of the article. National test scores. The latest test score shows a drop in students' knowledge in U.S. history, civics, a possible sign of the pandemic's damaging effects on academic performance. Probably not.
Probably not. I disagree with that.
Because when you're taught to hate your own country,
yeah.
Well, the thing is, the pandemic
you don't really
is a real
teach
thing
properly
too.
because you're screwing it all.
I think we got. I think why not both on that one?
Probably.
Yeah. Because I'm hearing what you guys are saying, but that pandemic definitely happened too.
Yes. No. Totally agree with
impact.
you with closing of the whole schools. Yeah. So it's just retarded kids even more.
It's a thing that exists. We're not telling you how to deal with it here. Here we go. The stakes are clear. The children who cannot read by third grade are at a disadvantage. They're likely to drop out of high school, face incarceration, and live in poverty as adults. Whoa! I'm glad I had this nailed by about Christmas of first grade.
Guys, people out in the chat, buy your kids a book.
Buy them a digital subscription to the New York Times so they can get communistic opinions and very well-written news articles about how dumb everybody is here.
Yeah. You know what I do for our youngest daughter, she's the last one in the house, and she loves to read. When I was a kid, I hung out at the library. I'd read books.
Yep.
Like a cornucopia of books. Yes, I'm using a big word right there. But she loves to read. And even though she's 13, she's becoming quite proficient at writing stories and essays and whatnot. And even early on in age, she's quite the speller. Doesn't matter how long the word is or how complicated the word might be, she'll get it right off the bat. She's a genius when it comes to spelling. It's it shocks me. Yeah,
future novelist.
Well, that's what I'm hoping, right?
Yeah,
but don't worry, it gets worse.
I'm sensing a trend here.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, still, curriculum reform is an enormous undertaking. The challenges are perhaps nowhere near apparent than in New York City, a sprawling system of more than 700 elementary schools and a large population of disadvantaged children. The city has been among the top markets for beloved balanced literacy curriculum. The approach aims to nurture a passion for books, but has been criticized at times for including too little systematic instruction in core reading skills. Mr. Banks called the approach an old way that has failed far too many kids. Really? Well, if you're banning books like, I don't know, Huckleberry Finn, Dr. Seuss, just for
this is New York City. No, those books are definitely not banned. Those particular books are not banned. I can think of some books that they probably don't have in New York City for other reasons. But if any city doesn't have any banned books, it's this one. But I know that I know from knowing that the Department of Education does have a list of books that they don't want in their libraries.
Oh. Well, the new plan is backed by the teachers union, of course, but has attracted immediate skepticism from some teachers, of course, who often say major changes come with insufficient training. Yeah, of course, right? Because you just want to strike for a couple of weeks and
Wait,
and get paid more than what most people get paid. So,
well, no, maybe what I should do is put this in terms that our listeners would more understand. Ready? They just last Jedi'd everybody who went to fucking high school for the last 20 years. It was all for nothing.
Yeah.
So we've just rebooted our entire understanding of everything. That's not how the Force works. And sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really bad. This is really fucking bad. And now all your teachers just found out that if you've been working there for 25 years, you've achieved absolutely nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really great for fucking morale.
Oh, it is. It is.
Thank God you get out after 30 at the Department of Education. So like you only have to survive 5 years. By the way, they're going to go on to suggest a solution is to fire the highest paid teachers. So,
there you go.
Could it be a scam?
No,
No,
that would be impossible.
Did they just blurt this out thinking they could cut payroll, not considering that they're going to get so fucking sued?
Here's hoping. It is also drawn ire from the city's principals union, which has called a uniform curricular approach pedagogically unsound in such a but New York City has never offered the right blueprint on reading, Mr. Banks said. It has left teachers blamed for failures that were not their own, he said, and families without answers to what went wrong with their children being left behind, or when their children fell behind. A national reading score has stagnated. Nearly 20 states have prioritized phonics alongside work to expand students' background knowledge, vocabulary, and oral language skills, which research shows most children need to grasp how to decode words and understand what they read.
Decode words.
There's
decode. That's what, decoding the fucking alphabet. It's not a code.
Hey, John Randall, how's it going there, dude? Nice that you could drop in. Yeah, decode words, right? That almost sounds.
We need to deconstruct the concept of what a teacher is so that we can pay them less. Well, what the fuck? By the way, no one's done anything right in a quarter century. And
yeah.
And everybody's going to be dumb.
This is crazy.
This is why I can't get my order right at Starbucks. And they're not spelling my name wrong on the cup as a joke.
Thank God for that. I'm thrilled Susan Newman, an early literary development expert and a former U.S. Assistant Secretary for Elementary and Secondary Education, said of the city's plans. This is a bold effort, she says, and I think it's very much the right way to go. Teaching reading instruction will mean changing teachers. Oh, this is going to be good. If New York City's announcement is the starting line, a challenging road lies ahead. Research shows that a new curriculum alone does not boost student outcomes. Major changes require teachers to reshape their existing practices and understanding of a subject through intensive training and coaching. Otherwise, they may lean on old instincts. Well, depending on how long those teachers have been in the school system, maybe some old instincts aren't a bad thing.
Especially if they're instincts that worked.
Yes,
if they're actually good teachers.
A is for apple. B is for banana. C. Well, in most places and in most cities, quite possibly maybe on the Democratic side, could be cock. I don't know. So
fall back on their old ways. The alphabet is 2,000 fucking years old. Okay, yeah. Maybe it's time to fall back on some old ways.
D is for dummy if you keep on going through the school system. So God. Okay.
Next is coming color-coded grades so that no one will feel dumb.
Oh, jeez. So now we're gonna get rainbow.
How'd you do in psychology? I got a brown.
Yeah.
How'd you do in math? I got a green.
I get a deal in science. So.
Plaid. I got plaid. I managed to achieve plaid standing.
Never go plaid.
Never go plaid. That's right. Oh man.
Goodness.
Oh, hey, Carla Burton. Nice to see you here.
Oh, hi.
Even supporters of the plan admit that much can go wrong. Some worry that the other side of literacy writing needs more substantial attention, or that unaddressed pandemic learning could hinder progress. And addressing how elementary schools teach reading to younger students will not help older students who miss learning those skills. Well, maybe. Okay, so here's a little bit of a problem here. And I don't know if anybody has probably caught this maybe over in the last, 20, 25 years or something like that. Where they wouldn't fail kids because that would be demoralizing for some reason. Fail the freaking kids if they don't pass the subject.
Thank you.
Over again.
Thank you, George W. Bush.
Oh, God. Like, seriously.
No child left behind.
Yeah.
Yep.
20 years later, we've left.
Yeah, 20 years later, we have She-Hulk. And people are like, it's all right. Gosh.
No, they'll be fine.
I thought that Obi-Wan Kenobi was a good show.
Yeah, exactly.
We saw the guy in the suit. He did the thing. What do you mean it's bad?
I'm Jean-Luc Picard's ghost in the machine.
What do you mean? Star Trek Discovery was fantastic.
And I just pooped lubricants in my pants.
Beta, the mayor of the largest city's appointee to the Department of Education, just admitted that he put people at a disadvantage in the most expensive place to live in America. Is he an asshole?
Oh, God. I know, right?
Beta, what are the odds? We can change it. We'll go back in time and teach people the alphabet. Fuck! What if oh God, the oppressor vowels.
Yeah. And addressing how elementary schools teach reading to younger students will not. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry to read that part. Okay. The city will also need to overcome the frustrations of many school leaders over the plan's rollout, as well as the fervent belief that some have in the programs they now use.
Yeah, I got to imagine it's pretty frustrating teaching third grade reading when no one can fucking read.
Yeah, especially when you're like maybe 17. So,
I think honor promotions end in 8th grade. You'd just be like a really dumb 8th grader, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I believe that's the policy, or it was.
This is why Jeff Foxworthy had that show, Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? So, remember that show?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, you do learn a lot of stuff that you just forget about in 5th grade, like the boiling temperature of water in non-metric.
Yeah.
But
I guarantee that none of those. But I guarantee that none of those kids were from New York. So.
No. In fact, I'm thinking that now I have a good chance to be king here.
Yeah, there you go.
I can read.
Guatemalan Rooster. My sister got a doctorate in education. I know she's been educated in things people shouldn't be educated as true. Oh, really? Ah, interesting. Hey, Penny, how's it going? Just dropped in and say goodnight. Well, good night, Penny.
Good night.
Thank you for dropping in. So, James Caserta, he was and is a stillborn.
By the way, I just want to say, don't worry, it gets worse.
That's right. John Randall, Comic Relief Crusader. Hail there, I'm beat. Long couple of days. Oh, well, I hope you're feeling well, dude. You know, please rest. Yep. But listen in and keep listening and enjoy the hilarity, and hopefully it makes you feel better. So, Let's see. So the city will need to overcome the frustrations. Okay. So the frustration. Did I read that part? Yeah. The city will also need to overcome the frustrations of many school leaders over the plan's rollout, as well as the fervent belief that some have in the plans they now use. Yeah. Hundreds of elementary schools in 2019 use a popular balanced literacy curriculum from Teachers College known as Units of Study. A report by two local news outlets, Chalkbeat and The City, shows the curriculum has received failing marks from one major organization that rates program quality, but many school leaders value its attention to developing schools' passion for books, as well as its robust professional development offerings for teachers. Several city principals have defended that curriculum publicly. Another Brooklyn principal who spoke on condition of autonomy for fear of retribution called the rollout demoralizing and said their school has seen good results from a modified version of Units of Study paired with a phonics program. Henry Rubio, head of the principals union, said a recent survey showed that 3 of 4 school leaders were dissatisfied with the plan's rollouts. It's blah. God, I can't read. It's the lack of respect for the community and school teachers to get buy-in to make this work, Mr. Rubio said. What does that do to trust and morale?
That word cloud is basically what he's saying is you just defamed us all as blithering idiots, and you think that we're going to get anything done now. I mean, there's going to be open rebellion in a lot of high school classrooms. Like,
it is.
We're stupid. It's our fucking fault.
Yep.
I could see that.
Let's see. Under the plan, all school districts will adopt one of 3 curriculums that have received high marks from national curriculum review groups.
Oh God! It's like sounds like the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, right?
It kind of does.
That's the curriculum of a carpenter.
Yeah.
It's like, we have a problem. You're only graduating carpenters. Leave me the fuck alone. I had 3 choices. The other 2 were horrible.
You mean this entire year I was in shop class? So
the guy who grabbed the other curriculum super aged and turned into dust.
Yeah, that's right. oh man. Carla says, read to your kids and make them read 30 minutes a day. That's right. I've homeschooled for over 21 years, and most kids pick up reading super quick when teaching phonics. Yeah, no, that's absolutely true because, like I said again, with my daughter, I bought her books for her birthday and for Christmas, and she just loves them. She reads them. I'll buy her full sets of novels and stuff like that. She'll just sit down and just read right through them like there was no tomorrow. So
that's good.
Now New York City has invented new ways. They're going to show you like a flashcard of a hand with the middle finger up, and they'll be like, "This is for F."
Yeah, exactly. Can you guess what letter?
We have to come up with 26 obscene gestures.
Caroline Quintana, the Deputy Chancellor of Teaching and Learning, said officials weighed in factors like text quality, and accessibility for students before narrowing down options with a small group of superintendents. Text quality, come on.
Text quality, okay.
Yes. Is this good reading material? Can people read the font properly? Does it contain any questionable, material that maybe we should ban? I don't know. So
they have found some fucked up stuff in their math books, by the way.
That's true. I imagine that. Yeah. The 3 choices have some significant differences. Wit and wisdom is known for its robust focus on knowledge building, which is important for helping students understand what they read. Okay, well,
my God, they're talking about this like it's people's lives and futures. They're talking about it like we have 3 plugins.
Yeah.
3 apps.
It does not cover foundational skills like phonics and would therefore be paired with a phonics program like Foundations, which many schools already use. Baltimore schools, where about 60% of children are low income, reported modest gains after adopting it. Expeditionary Learning has an explicit phonics program and includes texts that draw from concepts in other subjects such as social studies and a more robust writing component. It also has significant amounts of extra teaching materials and guidance that schools may need additional help to absorb. The curriculum is used in Detroit, which has seen some progress since its rollout. Into Reading is the most traditional option as a basal
program. I have
basal
no familiar the basal membrane or I'm gonna Google that word.
Okay.
What the fuck does it even mean?
A basal program that uses text written specifically to teach reading. It was selected by most districts in the rollout's first phase, though some teachers and principals have worried over a recent New York University report that found its content likely reinforces stereotypes and portrays people of color as inferior and destructive ways.
I'll take that one.
Okay.
The fuck?
Chris Martinez said the company has assured officials it is adamantly working on making revisions.
Yeah, I hope so.
Wow.
We're gonna make kids also on their jackets
boy.
paint their religion, a little sign on your jacket. What the fuck are they doing?
Now, here's the thing, though. Okay, because this is from a recent New York University report. Now, if those that have been disadvantaged for the past 20 years have managed to graduate high school and have gone to a New York university, do you see where I'm going with this?
I all I know is that
How good could that report possibly be?
I found out that basil means basic.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Well, then that's a basic program.
Mr. Banks said he believes the changes will ultimately make life easier for everyone. Yeah, when people can goddamn read, like during the Roman Empire.
Oh, God.
The goddamn Byzantines had more people who can read.
Let's just teach Latin. How about that? We just forget about English.
If we had a time
Let's teach
machine,
Latin.
if we kidnapped a medieval peasant and threw him out in the streets of New York City, he'd do all right for himself as compared to the people who graduated New York City high schools.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But wait, it's about to get even more depressing.
Oh, good.
Oh.
When kids fail all this stuff, they fall back to phonics and call it remedial reading. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So, Lost Wanderer says, yeah, that's the whole purpose of the Lost Wanderer podcast, to keep people a little bit closer to current time. Exactly. Well, thank you, Lost Wanderer, for your podcast too. You know what, dude? If you want to join in, you can, because I did include a link in the chat. So maybe I'll put it in there again, just in case, because this is what this show is all about.
By the way, I don't know how much more of this you want to read, but it has great expressions like swing the pendulum of literacy back to the positive side.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Rule one of being a teacher, you have to be able to say fucking basic things in a really roundabout fucking way, like a lawyer.
You know what? When I was a kid, okay, I lived in Ontario. I lived in Barrie, Ontario, which is about maybe a couple of hours north of Toronto, right? Learned how to read like the normal way, ABC, you learn your ABCs, and then, you do, like word association. A is for this, B is for that, blah, blah, blah. Right. So, then it started with, just reading simple books, stuff like that. You learn how to read basically. And then back in, what was it, 79, moved to New Brunswick, and they had this completely different reading system called, what was it called? ITA. And the words in this, they gave me the book, started trying to read it, and some of these letters, they look like Greek. I don't know what it was. And I told the teacher, I looked at her, it's like, I can't read this. It's just like, can you not read? And I'm like, no, I can read just perfectly well. I just can't read this. What is this? It's just like, oh, well, this is ITA. It's teaching kids how to read. And this was like in grade 1. And I gave the book back to her. It's like, I can't read this. Just give me a normal book. And so she gave me a normal book, and I could read it just perfectly normal.
Now, did the kids in the classroom and were you all forced to wear hockey helmets? Is that something we don't know about?
Everybody else was. They were all soft helmets.
There's water wings indoors. Just leave them on.
But that became the long march towards everybody hating me because I guess I was a little bit more advanced than they were. I don't know. But stupid kids. Anyway,
what I think is going to be great is I want to read some of the 788 comments that this fucking article has gotten. So I don't know if you want to read anymore, but definitely skip to the bottom and let's look at the comments because I'm sure they will be a gift.
Oh, we're almost there.
How great the comments!
Oh yeah, you have almost you have done much better than the average New Yorker. You're almost done reading this article of the New York Times.
I know, right? Me educated.
And it only took 2 other people to research some of these obscenely obscure words they had to use to smarten up their article about how dumb everybody is.
Yep. Mr. Banks said he believes that the changes will ultimately make life easier for everyone.
The teacher spent a large order of fries, please.
Yeah. You want fries with that?
The
teacher spent long hours.
49 cents.
Yeah, exactly.
New York soon to be exporting lots of dumb people.
Exactly. Coming to a town near you. Many teachers spend long hours searching for or even creating materials to fill gaps in existing curriculum. And when children lack stable housing or change schools often for other reasons, it can be tough to jump back in when classrooms will use different approaches. The chancellor has found one key ally in Michael Mulgrew.
Can I just point out we have 2 sci-fi references right there? Why is he called the chancellor? Where's the last person to hold that title? And how did that work out? And then the other one is Mulgrew, Captain Insaneway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your lack of faith disturbs me.
The chancellor then fired lightning out of his fingers and killed 1 teacher and 1 student to instill better discipline.
Probably. Yeah.
You will pay the price for your lack of ability to read.
You will pay for your lack of enunciation.
You can't read this, can you?
That's how it's going to go. Michael Mulgrew, the president of the teachers union, who has long advocated a more uniform citywide approach, which it should be anyway. We are supportive of this idea, Mr. Mulgrew said. But there will be pessimism throughout schools, he added.
You don't say.
Really? Who could have seen that coming?
You can have a long discussion explaining to them that they're feeling pessimistic, which is a word for how you feel when you haven't been taught how to read.
This is Animal House. Some readers are more equal than others. You know,
pessimism just from this part of the article. I mean, we're not even finished with it.
The story is so dark. The Post decided to skip it. Seriously. I checked. I wanted to see how the New York Post would cover it, so we could read that next. It'd be like, "Pow! City kids dumber than ever," but it's not in there.
Foggy Brains is like, don't give away our New Brunswick secrets.
Hey, shit for brains. Put all your money on the Yankees.
God, exactly. Lost Wonder, I still hate when the school switched from how to think to what to think. Yeah, exactly, right?
This is why Citi Field sells out with people until like the middle of like May and June. Sometimes as late as the 4th of July, people are still going there. Oh, no, they're going to turn it around.
That's right. At Foggy, don't worry, I won't give much away. Just the good bits.
Aaron Rodgers is going to fit in well here.
I think so. The shift marks the latest and what the chancellor says ought to be the last major swing of the pendulum in the city's reading instruction. 20 years ago, during the Bloomberg administration. Another chancellor.
Chancellor Joel Klein.
Ushered in
this is the correct way to drink soda. That's right. Ushered in the era of balanced literacy at city schools until a lack of progress led.
Oh, that was perfectly
I
done.
have a lack of progress led him to pilot other approaches.
It's not a story the Jedi could be able to read to you. They're all illiterate motherfuckers.
Well, Disney Plus is putting out the Young Jedi Adventures. So, yeah, there we go. Years later,
Another Chancellor Carmen Farina.
for in independent reading time.
I
and having-
submit that stronger leadership is called for. I call for a vote of no confidence.
And Chancellor Balarin.
a believer in independent reading time.
Misa think I was educated in New York City.
And having students choose their own books. Again, encourage schools to adopt those strategies. No, that's stupid. If you let the students pick their own books, they're just going to pick the same books over and over again.
Wow.
And it's going to be like, those thick cardboard books that you read when like you were a baby or something like that. Like the
I think
letting
that
the
good or
inmates
something
run
like
the
that.
asylum there.
Oh,
Well,
God.
no. Here's the thing: the teacher stocks the classroom library, so you got control over that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But this is still, like I said, like we don't need the New York Post to make this sound cynical and crazy.
No, we got the New York Times to do it for
New
them.
York Times doing just a great job, and they're trying to back away slowly while still being. Well, give them credit; they reported the biggest deal in the city. Everyone's fucking dumb, and we know why now.
Richard Cardanza called the city's patchwork of practices unfeasible when he led the system. His tenure overlapped with the first year of the pandemic, and reading moved to the back burner. No, really?
Wow.
Mr. Banks and the mayor, Eric Adams, who has dyslexia. Does he really? Oh my God, this explains everything.
He took too much LDS in the 60s.
This explains everything.
Well, how did this man become a captain of a police precinct? Oh my God. I want to go on record. I did not vote for this man.
As said, reading would be one of his top priorities for the
He's
administration.
going to learn how to do it. By the way, I'm dyslexic too, so we're safe on this one.
Already, Mr. Banks has required schools to adopt phonics programs and open several new programs for students with
Is it okay
dyslexia.
if we teach people how to read, Mr. Mayor?
Maybe he'll be in one of those classes. I don't know.
They fooled him into signing the legislation by putting it in front of him in writing.
Now, Timmy, can you read this backwards?
Imagine if we found out Eric Adams he's risen to this level without being able to read it all, and he just signs whatever's put in front of him out of embarrassment, and he's never read any of it.
Yeah,
Might not surprise me.
probably not. Teacher training on the new programs will begin this week and continue over the summer. And coaching will continue during the school year.
Cancel summer vacation. You're going to
Oh,
work,
yeah.
bitches.
That's right. The
Oh,
goal
that's it.
is for teachers to return in the fall with their first unit fully planned, officials said. Early childhood providers will also receive training in the coming months. The first stage of rollout will include several areas where children have struggled most, such as Harlem, District 5, the Northeast Bronx, District 12, East New York, 19, Brownsville, 23, and Southeast Queens.
Hey, fuck you. I'm from Jamaica. Oh, wait. I'm a statistic. I forgot. I'm a Latino from a I can't wait to read these fucking comments.
Okay. Sharon Roberts, a special education teacher at PS9, the Walter Reed School in Queens, said she was hopeful for the first time in years. Miss Roberts said that it has long been left up to her to fill the gap and find materials that work for her students' needs. But for the plan to be successful, she said, teachers need to be treated with respect again.
Yeah. Wait. What do they mean by again? Like, when did teachers ever get any respect?
Yeah,
Honestly.
exactly. We're tired of being blamed for so many things that are out of our reach, she said. Oh, bull crap! You did not do your job properly. So, yes, take
no. They did not
Yeah.
give these people the tools. Did you remember some of those methods they were trying? They didn't use phonics, teaching people how to read. That is, I mean, this is an insane thing to say by the school chancellor. This is an internal problem that you fucking work from the inside out. Well, I mean, what have you done to the value of everyone's high school diploma? Is everyone supposed to come back for a year?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like this guy's diploma is from 2012. We know he's dumb as fuck. I mean, what the fuck?
Guatemalan Rooster, I hate that the schools are really only good for training competent and obedient factory workers. But I think that's what the government wants. Yep.
I believe that to be true.
Yeah.
I believe
George
that, yes.
Carlin had a good bid on that.
No, there are 788 comments. I can't wait to see what they are.
Let's see. He also says, I'm going to homeschool my future hypothetical kids on Schoolhouse Rock and Mythbusters. There you go.
Oh,
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I sent my kids to the boarding school on Deep Space Nine so they could be taught by Federation supremacist Keiko O'Brien.
Yep.
Remember when she got in trouble for being like a Federation Nazi at the school?
Yeah.
Oh, Miles.
Most inconsistent Star Trek character in all Trek.
No. Well, I'm not married yet, but I would have to make sure to marry someone that doesn't mind education coming from people from other planets. Yeah, exactly, right?
Considering how much the show tortures O'Brien and then he goes home to her.
Yeah. Last Wonder, my son's 9th grade English teacher has 8 gay flags in the classroom. Is the LGBTQIA Mouse Plus advisor, and I send him in with the most anti-everything books. There you go.
Wow.
To her credit, she grades him fairly, so I scoff at her, but respect her for not unfairly grading him. Well, yeah, at least you got that going on for you.
She's just happy one of the kids is fucking reading, okay?
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, well, we already know Congress doesn't read the bills. Maybe a few can't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Should we read the comments?
Okay. Oh, I can't wait. Please read the comments. Please.
All right, let's go through a few of these here. Roger K. I don't see how it'll work, as unlike other languages, English rules are constantly broken and require a lot of memorization, as same syllables are pronounced differently depending on the word.
Reading is hard. Okay, that's
okay.
Let's see if we can find one with a lot of upvotes. That's got 2 recommends. Let's see if we can find someone with like 50 recommends. Scroll down for a little bit.
Okay, let's see.
Let's go to older comments. Let's see.
Number 6.
Nobody wants to really weigh in on this one because like they tried to read it and they're like, "What does this mean?"
Yeah, exactly. Oh, here we go.
Did the Yankees win?
Jake. My wife is a reading specialist who was educated in New York City schools 60 years ago. Okay. So here, 60 years ago. Okay. She never bought this nonsense and educated our daughter using phonics and standard teaching methods. My mother told me her nephew learned math in the 50s using a new theory of teaching that has become fashionable despite not working. He went on to drive a bus. California ditched its 10-year effort to teach another new math several years ago, calling it a failure. The only problem is these are not cars with lousy designs that fail. These are our children. Ask a veteran teacher from decades prior to ours what they think about Common Core. Yeah, that's a disaster.
Well, no, in New York, Common Core means simply that all teachers could teach any topic up to 6th grade.
Okay. An ed theory, an educational theory developed with teachers excluded, funded by Bill Gates. Funded by Bill Gates.
You didn't know that? He gave like $100 million to New York City to fund this failed experiment. This is what Bloomberg did with that money. He made everybody dumber.
There you go. Funded by Bill Gates, people.
Well, how about that?
He is a major contributor. To be fair, he thought that they're going to go like do the right thing with it.
Yeah.
I guess.
That puts a computer with a browser On the school's desktop, my boy pointed out that these students with high math skills but low verbal skills fail at CC Math because it's all verbal problems. Way to go, but first flush the students who have learned to read in the past 10 years down the toilet because that's because you wanted the latest fashion. Yep.
Okay.
It sounds like we more need a speak and spell than any kind of computer that anyone will be able to comprehend. And has this,
Yes.
And by the way, is my $1 this week spent in the New York Times not fully justified? We've just spent 84 minutes on this gold gift of an article from the New York Times.
Yeah.
Comedy gold at the expense of a lot of poor people. But I mean, we didn't create these stupid policies. What the fuck are you saying? How could you devalue your diploma so badly?
That's right. And as we reach the past the 1 hour mark, it's time for a commercial. So
all right. Yeah,
that's right. From
This
Omega
be
Mart.
fun.
So here you go, people. Your latest commercial from Omega Mart.
Commercial break.
Attention shoppers. This week at Omega Mart, save on name brand sodas like root beer flavored vape juice flavored root beer. Plus, stock up on emergency clams, just 79 cents a can. And on your way out, try your luck at our new arcade
Oh, I
machine.
already played this one. No, you know what? I already played that one.
You know what? I love the what is it? Root beer flavored vape juice root
The
beer
root beer
flavor.
flavored root beer?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'll get a better one here.
I love the butter claw. I thought that's a perfect commentary, perfect follow-up visual to how people can't fucking read.
Nut free salted peanuts. This Halloween, give them what they really want. Nut salted peanuts. Now only $5.99 a gram. Wake Up Cleaning Spray. Now in fun size. This week, just $12.99 a bag. Plus, get Glorbox for just $10.99. Now you're sure to be the favorite house on the block.
Omega Mart, you have no idea what's in store for you.
Yeah, do not buy your Halloween costume at Omega Mart. It's,
No.
It will turn lasers will go on and burn your face off.
Glory box? Wait, I heard that wrong. John, emergency clams?
Only 79 cents.
Clam 51, respond to the West Beach for a possible coaster flyer.
It's like
Love
think about this. It's like if you say to a New Yorker, you're like, name a letter, they'll be like 8.
Yeah. Oh, what else have we got in the comments here?
If you're in 11th grade and can't read, you might be from New York.
This is going to be the new joke now, isn't it? M says people always say that parents reading at home with kids is the key. However, while we had safe home environments as kids and moms and dads engaged me and my brother to spend time on homework, they never read to us. My brother and I both went to college. I went to the top engineering school in China, as I recalled. I never needed my mom or dad read with me, or should that be I never needed my mom and dad to read with me.
Now, what's their excuse if they're
Whatever
Chinese not to
excuse is
read to their
obviously
kid? They only had one child if they're from China.
Yeah.
They couldn't read to the goddamn kid. God damn it.
Ooh, Julius Caesar
Fuck you,
responded.
Chinese technical school guy. You have no heart.
That's right.
These New York Times readers. What should my comment be?
Four-eyed buzzard says, "Hell, half of corporate executives can't write a grammatically correct memo. Most politicians can't construct a full coherent sentence. And the predominant forms of media are videos and thought expressed by emojis. Yet we demand that children can read and wonder why they can't or just don't care to."
By the way, that was the fourth curriculum they shot down, was teaching everyone using ironic Willy Wonka meme, and they had like 2 other memes, and they were just that was how they were going to do it: emojis and memes.
Yeah. Let's see. Resident. Oh, from Canada. Can someone explain to me why there are so many issues with K to 12 education now? I remember teaching myself how to read when I was very young. Why is it so hard now? And issues with math. Math is math.
Yep.
Being able to read just sort of dawned on me.
Yeah, it does.
In a few weeks, if not less, like maybe a week and a half.
Yeah.
It's kind of making sense.
Oh man.
This is the world we made. But that was the world we made for ourselves. Lots of love making, but no love.
Exactly. CS says, thank God I was drilled in phonics over 30 years ago. I still find it useful when coming across unfamiliar words, especially in Romance languages. I may sound ungainly at first, but by the third try, it's decent. Sounded out.
This guy's just got the New York Times app on his phone to flex. He's like, I'm surprised the word erudite was not in that comment.
Exactly.
Oh goodness.
Good article, T. I like that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
My gift to you, the New York Times. Who needs the Post? The Post missed that low-hanging fruit. This is why the Post loses $1 million a week.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just like the New York City school chancellor walked out there and said, "Hey, everybody here is fucking dumb." Yeah. I hope he waited until after school was closed to make this. He couldn't have done it over the summer when no one could do it. This is going. I mean, could you imagine high school tomorrow?
Yeah. Lost Wanderer. Yep. And why does 1 out of every six rockets launch kill cows in China? Not even joking. Oh man, you are correct, sir. If there's a top engineering school in China, then why do they send their kids to our universities? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Listen, that doesn't mean there's still not a top engineering school in China per se. It's just not very good.
Yeah. There you go. Hieroglyphics. Yep. Hieroglyphics. Yep. So
New York City. Oh, what a wonderful place to live. The graffiti is misspelled.
Oh, jeez.
Fuck Mayor Adams, FC UK. I guess it would make sense to Adams. He's dyslexic, right? He'd be like, that says fuck you to me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, let's see. On to the next one. I thought this was kind of cool because like I said before, because this was originally what I was going to talk about, but that's okay because this reading one was actually quite fun. So this one, Jaws star Richard Dreyfuss blasts the Academy Awards new inclusion standards. I don't think there's a minority or majority in the country that has to be catered to like that.
Well, he is. Isn't Mr. Dreyfuss? He's in fact, he's a member of a minority.
I believe he is. Yeah, right.
No, but I mean, he's also by religion, I believe, has a certain. Let me Google it before I say it.
Okay. Yeah. So Richard Dreyfuss, the Oscar-winning actor, known for his roles in such blockbusters such as Jaws and Close Encounters.
By the way, the autofill is Richard Dreyfuss still alive?
Yes, apparently he is. Recently weighed in on the current state of the film industry, sharing that he's not very fond of the forced inclusivity we've seen in recent years. Yeah, that's right. Because you know what? I actually kind of brought it up, I do believe, at the Academy and their new rules. I do believe. Yeah, I do have that.
Yeah, Mr. Dreyfuss is in fact Jewish.
Okay.
Yes.
So he's a member of a particular minority that has been oppressed. So, and also there's another weird article when I was Googling this about how Mr. Dreyfuss, a Jewish actor, can play Othello, just not you. Dreyfuss's remarks on casting prove he needs to brush up on his Shakespeare?
Yeah, interesting.
Hmm.
In September 2020, the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences announced that beginning with the 96th Oscar ceremony in 2024, films would be required to meet 2 of 4 new representation and inclusion standards in order to be eligible for a Best Picture nomination. Really?
What?
Yeah.
Sounds like they took their cue from the BBC. Didn't the BBC phase in something like that for their programs?
I think so.
Yep.
Issuing a joint statement, Academy President David Rubin and Academy CEO Don Hudson explained the aperture must widen to reflect our diverse global population in both the creation of motion pictures and in the audiences who connect with them. The Academy is connected to playing a vital role in helping make this a reality. The pair continued, we believe these inclusion standards will be a catalyst for the long-lasting, essential change in our industry. And here we go now. And here's the post that they made on Twitter. Change starts now. We've announced new representation and inclusion standards for Best Picture eligibility, beginning with the 96th Oscars. Read more here, and there was the link right there. Inclusions and representation standards to be eligible. Okay, so on-screen representation, themes and narratives, creator leadership and project team, industry access and opportunities, and audience development. Well, I just happened to click on said link, and I will show you what said link had to say. Because
this should be fun.
Oh,
I'm just trying to apply this mentally to like a crime movie.
I'm sure you can.
Diverse bunch of criminals take on a diverse bunch of cops.
Yep.
And it all turns on when the non-binary cop figures it all out. Now they have a drinking problem because they're a cop. Wait, hold on, they're non-binary.
Oh, well then that's okay. Standard A, on-screen representation, themes, and narratives. To achieve Standard A, the film must meet one of the following criteria. Okay, here we go. A1, lead or significant supporting actors. At least one of the lead actors or significant supporting actors is from an underdeprived racial or ethnic group, such as Asian, Hispanic, or Latinx. Black, African.
Don't I fucking hate that goddamn word?
Yeah,
That's a fucking slur against my people. We have a gendered language. Don't fucking the default for all Latino people is non-binary. Get fucked.
Yep. Black or African American, Indigenous, Native American, or Alaska Native.
Right, because that's like 1/3 of 1% of the country. We need to get them in every movie.
But they're leaving out the Canadian Inuit people, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Well, I'll just point out that King of the Hill had a Native American character.
Yep, there you go.
2, actually, if you count Joseph.
Middle Eastern, North African, Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander. They couldn't say.
We can make a Barack Obama biopic. Is that what you're saying?
There we go. Or other represented race or ethnicity. So
this is like Demolition Man. Like now, all restaurants are Taco Bell.
Yep.
How do you make? Can I just ask you a question? How do we ever make another biopic or like something like a Watergate movie ever again?
Oh, Carla,
Whoopi Goldberg thrills as Richard Nixon.
Okay. Well, if you got to go, Carla, thanks for joining in the chat. So, unless that was a joke and you had to help the kids with homeschooling, I don't know. So, okay.
The emojis would seem to indicate she might be joking.
I think so. I can go with that.
What do you think of that, Mike and Pop? Whoopi Goldberg's like soars to new heights as Richard Nixon.
I think that would be great.
That would be
I want that to happen.
I want that movie. Lucy Liu as Henry Kissinger.
Ooh,
why not?
Yeah, I would see that. Now you're talking a movie here. You know, this could win an Academy Award.
I'm thinking, let's see, Denzel Washington as Queen Elizabeth II in her autobiography.
I think he's more cut out to play Nancy Reagan.
You think so?
I think Nancy Reagan with I don't know. How about Oprah Winfrey as Dutch Ronald Reagan?
Ah, there we go. Yeah,
Yep.
now we're
I
talking.
would like to
I
see
can
her
see
do it.
that.
I mean, do it convincingly.
I think so.
I'd just like to see Oprah Winfrey as Ronald Reagan doing the Challenger speech, right?
Ah, yeah. There we go.
Today, the terrible events. They have not died. They slipped the slurry bonds of earth to touch the face of God.
Well, today Nancy and I were talking, and
I said this.
I said, Stedman, I'm gonna blow up a shuttle. You're gonna blow up a shuttle. Everyone, blow up a space shuttle.
Oh,
Wow. Lost Wonder says, so as someone that identifies as a member from the Alpha Centaurian race, I would qualify. Nice to know.
Hey, do you know Zephyrin Cochran? He's from Alpha Centauri.
There we go. Lizzo as Jupiter in the remake of 2001. Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Jupiter's a gas giant. What would she do to get into her method?
I just don't want to see that giant red spot. So
no.
Well, it's got a Borg cube in it.
Oh, that's right. It's
my God.
That's its butt plug.
Oh my God. They just Star Trek Picard at the New York City Board of Education in the last 20 years worth of diplomas.
Oh, Lord.
Boy, now I know why everyone's so fucking somebody got killed here last month riding on top of the subway. Now I understand. Now I understand how this could happen. Yeah, they had already successfully jumped the turnstile when they had decided to do this too.
Now we got section A2, general ensemble cast. Okay, here we go. At least 30% of all actors in secondary and more minor roles are from at least two of the following underrepresented groups: women,
what?
A racial or ethnic group,
huh?
LGBTQ,
how
or people with cognitive or physical disabilities who are deaf or hard of hearing.
All right, so that's great. When I would just be like, those background actors are all gay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. The characters they're playing, those characters that they're playing are gay.
Gay.
And by the way, that guy over there is dyslexic. He's got a learning disability. That guy over there, what the fuck? How do you we won't be making any more World War II movies, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Can't have
a rooster. We have very few roosters in films these days.
Oh no, we're getting Chicken Run 2 this year.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's a Mel Gibson role that everyone can get behind.
Yep. John Reynolds, the answer to this is to make movies that you don't intend to get an Oscar.
Yes.
The Oscars haven't been relevant for decades, so who cares about them anymore? Exactly.
Yeah, like 3 years ago, the best picture was The Shape of Water, a horror movie. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm saying
it was an interesting movie.
It is an interesting movie. I'm saying that's your best picture? What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly, right?
I still haven't seen that one.
It's not even Silence of the Lambs. It's not bad, but it's not even as it's not the smartest movie. It's very beautiful and visual.
Yeah.
It kind of makes some magic leaps at the end there too.
Yeah. It's almost like a remake of Creature from the Black Lagoon, except no Black Lagoon. And the woman.
No, it's more like Creature from the Black Lagoon is stuck with the Smoking Man's minions in the X-Files.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Section A3, main story and subject matter. Oh, this is going to be good. The main storyline or storylines, theme, or narrative of the film is centered on the underrepresented groups. Okay? It's going to be about, the main storyline has to be about women, racial or ethnic groups, LGBTQ, or people with cognitive or physical disabilities who are deaf or hard of hearing.
Wow. Everybody in my movie is actually a little hard of hearing. It just you can't really tell. They're compensating for it. I don't see why they should lose their dignity, but the characters know that.
So okay, so to make at least from sections A1 to A3. So if you have like maybe let's say a very aged group of people that this movie is about that are all of different backgrounds that are also hard of hearing and gay, then this would win an Oscar.
Can we please make 2 randomized Wheels of Fortune so that we can create characters like this and then go on a role-playing adventure game with them and see how long we last?
There we go.
Okay, I am
Random character generator.
I am a visually challenged, gay, self-hating Pacific Islander. And I'm also a level 3 magic user. Now I
call out my blue eyes white dragon.
I'm casting my spell of stupidity over the people, but I can't read it because I'm from New York. Basic protection spell's not working.
The Last Wanderer, 1942, where the 101st Infantry is 50% people who identify as dudes in wheelchairs and cannot hear the incoming gunfire.
Band of brothers and sisters, and they thems.
And Rooster responds with, and the puppet is played by Jennifer Lawrence. Oh my god!
Now, would the show Picard passes the smell test because it's about a robot?
There
you go.
Who is retard?
Right.
And also a ghost.
Oh, and hard of hearing.
Right. Bev was attacked by what is essentially a robot. She was roofie bombed by Picard.
Yep.
New Jack is an asshole with an anger problem.
Right.
Marina Sirtis has social media spitefulness syndrome. Jonathan Frakes is just walking around happy to get paid. I hope he's smoking weed between takes.
Probably.
Picard. So no white males in there. Picard's an oppressed minority. Data's part female. He's now technically non-binary. I mean,
that's great.
Yeah, 7 of 9. They fixed that up. She's a lesbian. They couldn't allow her to be straight. No man's going to touch it. She don't need no man. I love that. And we're pushing hard for Star Trek Legacy, the buddy cop show with a spaceship with Raffi and 7. That's going to be great. And New Jack is the counselor like Troy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's going to go over so well.
Ensign New Jack is like Wesley. He gets to sit up on the 3 chairs, but he goes from nervous about being in Starfleet to sitting in the captain's chair and over talking the captain in 1 minute.
Oh, of course. Now, standard B, creative leadership and project team. To achieve standard B, the film must meet one of the criteria below. B1, creative leadership and department heads. At least 2 of the following creative leadership positions and department heads: casting director, cinematographer, composer, costume designer, director, editor, hairstylist, makeup artist, producer, production designer, set director, sound.
Can I just ask a question?
Writer from the following underrepresented groups. Go ahead.
You know what? I'm just thinking about this. This is in medical books as an actual disease. So if you just say, well, the thing in my story that's not said is that all these people are recovering alcoholics. It's just not addressed in the movie. You're set because they had these people all have a medical disability now.
Yeah. Nice. There we go. Perfect. So, okay. So to meet at least 2 of these criterias, let's see. They're going to be women of a racial or ethnic group. LGBTQ, of course, and people with cognitive or physical disabilities or who are deaf or hard of hearing. So, now, imagine if you get.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Imagine if you get a person with some sort of cognitive disability that is doing makeup.
How do we make it?
Or a hairstylist,
Right.
or the director of sound, or something like that. What could possibly happen? I don't know.
To be fair, if your director of sound was simply dyslexic, you're okay.
True.
Yeah.
I'll give you that much.
You just don't want your script continuity to be dyslexic. You want him to be like maybe hard of hearing.
Yes, and not from New York.
No, definitely not from New York. Your script continuity. Didn't that character die 2 acts ago?
Oh, I don't know. Let me look it up. Oh, wait a minute. I can't read. I think he's here somewhere.
It's a J.J. Abrams movie. Don't worry about it. He's just back.
Yeah.
That's right.
Skip the part where we bore you with the resurrection. We just bring it
At least
back.
one of these positions must belong to the following underrepresented racial or ethnic group: Asian, Hispanic, or Latinx.
So we can make a Highlander movie.
Yep.
Right.
Black, African American, Indigenous, Native American, Alaska Native, Middle Eastern or North African, Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander or other underrepresented race or ethnicity. Let's see. B2, other key roles. At least 6 other crew or team or technical positions, excluding production assistants, are from an unrepresented racial or ethnic group. These positions include, but are not limited to, first AD, gaffer, script supervisor, etc. B3, overall crew composition. At least 30% of the film's crew is from the following underrepresented groups of women, racial or ethnic groups, LGBTQ, people with cognitive or physical disabilities, or deaf or hard of hearing. Oh, God. This is just turning into a shit show, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Standard C. And don't worry, folks, we're almost done, but this is how ridiculous it's going to get in movies. So when you hear somebody like, oh, I don't know, like Nerdronic or Doomcock complaining or whatnot, now you know why. So to inform all of you people here, okay?
I'm just thinking about how many birds we could kill with one stone just by having our movie star Charlie Sheen. He's Latino.
Foggy brains,
Yeah.
a blind heart surgeon.
He's Latino. He's got sex addiction that he's recovered from. He's recovered, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Lost Wanderer. So, honest question: do redheads qualify as an underrepresented group?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. At
They
this
do.
point, yes.
Yep.
Although it is, but I think I saw someone say they were the smallest population smallest group of people by population on the planet. So might not be possible to totally underrepresent them, just as long as there's 1 or 2. But I mean, Captain Kirk was kind of a ginger.
Sort of, kind of, yeah. I think so. Kind of.
And everyone loves him, right?
Yeah, that's right. Standard C, industry access and opportunities. To achieve Standard C, the film must meet both criteria below. Okay. C1, paid apprenticeship and internship opportunities. The film's distribution or financing company has paid apprenticeships or internships that are from the following underrepresented groups and satisfy the criteria below.
You know what I didn't see mentioned? Fat, bald, and ugly people. They can still not be hired for that, huh?
Exactly right.
But we're gonna make sure it's racially balanced. I guess these people won't be on the screen for our enjoyment either. Like, have you noticed, like, good-looking K-Stew always uglies herself up like real bad for every movie now.
Jennifer Lawrence did it first, so
that's right. That's right.
Okay,
Katniss Aberdeen.
So they gotta be They're gonna be women, or racial or ethnic group, LGBTQ, women, people with cognitive or physical disabilities who are deaf or hard of hearing. The major studios and distributors are required to have substantive ongoing paid apprenticeships, internships, inclusive of underrepresented groups, must also include racial or ethnic groups in most of the following departments: production, development, physical production, post-production, music, VFX, acquisitions, business affairs, distribution, marketing, and publicity. In many major or independent studio distributors must have a minimum of 2 apprentices, interns, from the above underrepresented groups, or at least 1 from the underrepresented racial or ethnic group, in at least one of the following departments: production development, physical production, post-production, music, VFX, acquisitions, business affairs, distribution, marketing, and publicity. C2, training
So
opportunity. Oh, go ahead.
Imagine if you don't hit your quota and it's time to sell your movie and you just need the wokest PR people instead of the best. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
we have to I need an all gay advertising agency. Get me
I need that Oscar.
put out a casting call. We fucked up. We made a Richard Nixon biopic with all white people.
Oh no!
We made a movie called A Few Good Men. There was only men in it.
Damn it.
What were they thinking?
Wait, hold on. Let's just go. How about we just say in retrospect that it's not on screen, but these soldiers are all dyslexic womanizers. That'll give them a disability.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
They're sex
Lost
addicts.
Wanderer, fat phobia. Good point.
Yeah.
John Randall, fat, bald, and ugly, but I don't want to work in Hollywood.
I'm just saying, as a dyslexic Latino from New York City, I think I should probably try to go into lead acting and be like, I'm one of the few castable people left in the entire world. There's like nobody left. If I just start smoking the pole.
Yeah, that's right. Lost Wanderer, according to the CDC, a physical impairment includes problem solving. So just fail a math test.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. There you go. Fail a math test.
Or failure to read instructions.
Or that too. Yeah.
Well, that would be, if you're dyslexic.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, there you go. It's a win-win now. C2 training up. Okay.
And they wonder how we ended up with a movie like Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, exactly. God.
Wakanda was nominated for an Academy Award.
Oh God, yeah, that was so horrible.
They had white people in there. They were killing them left and right.
Yeah, exactly right.
What did you think of the Wakanda reveal when you find out that all the people they've been icing were like CIA and U.S. military good guys? It's like, wait a minute, hold on. We're the problem? Like, we're the scumbags?
Yeah, exactly. No.
And they waste them gratuitously, like when they go to that CIA ship.
Yeah. Yeah. Foggy Brain says, I'm glad I work in indie films and I'm tired of this forced BS. And I'm part of the Alphabet Mafia, so I'm sick of the BS. I'm so sick of the BS. If it's not part of the story, then stop. Sorry, my 2 cents. Nope, you're right. You're right, dude. You are absolutely right, my friend. Standard D. Okay, now we're getting into it here. Wow. Audience development.
Standard D. That's just right there. Let's recognize the funniness of that term.
Achieve standard
I need
D.
some standard D.
I need some standard D.
How's the sex? He gave me standard D.
The film must meet the criterion below.
I'm sorry, there's already 25 black people in this theater. You can't go in and be part of the audience. We're trying to maintain diversity here. We can't take your money, no.
But I already paid for my tickets.
The reason why our movie failed is because only white people went to see it and we could only fill the theater to 16%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, this movie's not for you. You can't watch it.
I can't wait to see a racially diverse remake of the Miracle on Ice movie. That'll be fucking great.
D1, representation in marketing, publicity, and distribution. The studio and or film company has multiple in-house senior executives from among the following underrepresented groups. Must include individuals from underrepresented racial or ethnic groups on their marketing, publicity, and or distribution teams. Women, racial or ethnic groups, Asian, Hispanic, Latinx, Black, African American, Indigenous, Native American, Alaskan Natives, but leaving the Canadian Inuits out, those bastards, Middle Eastern, North African, Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander. They couldn't just say Polynesian. I don't know. Other underrepresented race or ethnicity, LGBTQ, people with cognitive or physical disabilities, or who are deaf or hard of hearing. All categories other than Best Picture will be held to their current eligibility requirements. Films in their specialty features category: animated feature films, documentary features, international feature films submitted for Best Picture general entry consideration will be addressed separately.
So to be fair, if you don't have any of these problems, but you still want to go to Hollywood, what you do is you start taking opiates now. They'll eventually affect your hearing. Then you'll have a hearing impairment, and then you will then be able to have opiate like withdrawal syndrome and claim that as a disability and be a recovered drug addict, which is a recognized disability in America. And now you're safe. You've cleaned off the fact that you could even be white with a resume like that. I mean,
I think it's great. I mean, this shows that, to sum it all up,
deep vampire hunter. The Lost Wanderer is he hunts many people who just barely passed New York City test. Yeah, thank God Abraham Lincoln went to the public schools of Chicago, right? It only took, to be fair, it only took 312 years since the opening of the first New York City public school for them to decide to teach people to read.
Exactly.
So, better late than never.
What was that?
I love these standards.
So what was that, Republic?
I was just saying that this, to sum all this up, is like, this is who you'll have on your movie. This is how you make it. This is who you'll have starring in it.
Yep.
This is who you have working on staff behind the scenes, and this is who you will market it to.
How do you imagine?
That's a nice formula for future failures.
Yeah.
This is like, how do you make a movie about, like, I don't know, the 1996 Yankees?
I don't know.
Yeah,
You just take all this and you apply it to a TV show, and you get Doctor Who.
We've decided to put all the players on steroids so they'd be true. Oh wait, that's already true. Okay.
Oh God. Like. Okay.
Wade Boggs is bald. Is that a disability?
Yep. So the Academy Aperture 2025 is the next phase of the Academy's Equity and Inclusion Initiative, furthering the organization's ongoing events to advance inclusion and the entertainment industry and increase representation within its membership and the greater film community. And
no one's going to see these fucking movies.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what Richard Dreyfuss is bitching about, right?
Well,
So
I think what he's bitching about is that even though he's not the right minority, he's a minority, so he can play a black guy.
Yep.
So at the fringes, things are very much the same, because I'm just trying to wrap my mind around these standards here, and like, just wow. I mean, wow. How do you make any historical movie, documentary? There'll be no World War II movies. I mean, 1917, forget it. I mean, and how do you make a movie that has, like, say, a cast of 4?
Exactly. Yeah. So during a recent appearance on PBS's Firing Line with Margaret Hoover, Dreyfuss was asked his opinion on the Academy's new inclusivity guidelines, and the Oscar winner didn't have kind words to express his discontent with the upcoming implications.
Margaret Hoover is the great-granddaughter of the most failed president in the United States history.
That's right. That's how she got her job. So
she's hot, too.
Yeah, which is kind of odd.
You don't think that being president got him some ass?
Oh, of course it did.
Yeah, I think it looks like her female, the guy he married.
So Dreyfuss said,
married, sorry.
So Dreyfuss said, they make me vomit, the Jaws actor said. Upon being asked the reason why he disagrees with the guidelines, Dreyfuss declared, because it's an art form.
Okay.
He went on. It's also a form of commerce. It makes money, but it's an art, and no one should be telling me as an artist that I have to give in to the latest, most current idea of what morality is.
And let's face it, the Academy Award has now become like a mark of failure if you're going to do all these things before you write a story.
Yep. And what are we risking, the Academy Award winner then asked? Are we really risking hurting people's feelings? You can't legislate that, he elaborated. And you have to let life be life. And I'm sorry, I don't think that there's any minority or majority in the country that has to be catered to like that. Dreyfuss then raised English actor Laurence Olivier's role in Othello in Stuart Bridges' adaptation of William Shakespeare, The Tragedy of Othello, The Moor of Venice, praising the late actor's performance despite it being delivered in blackface.
Or Obi-Wan Kenobi in Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah, exactly, right? You know, Laurence Olivier was the last white actor to play Othello, and he did it in 1965, said the actor, and he did it in blackface. And he played a black man brilliantly. To emphasize his point, he rhetorically pondered, am I being told that I will never have a chance to play a black man? Is someone else being told that they're not Jewish? They shouldn't play the Merchant of Venice? Yeah, see, good questions.
The best Don Quixote in the history of the entire run of Man of La Mancha is an African American guy.
That's right.
He's Brian Stokes Mitchell, and I saw him do it, and the guy is incredible. I didn't give a shit that he was, not Spanish, and I'm Spanish, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not Latinx, though. Don't fucking call me that goddamn word. I would not accept an Academy Award for Best Latinx in a movie about a gay ghost in hell.
Yeah, there we go. He said, are we crazy? Do we not know that art is art? This is so patronizing. It's so thoughtless and treating people like children. However, then asked the actor if he thought that there might be a difference between a white actor in the UK using blackface to play the Merchant of Venice and a white actor in the United States doing the same due to the latter country's history of slavery and their sensitivities around black racism, to which Dreyfuss doubled down. There shouldn't be one because it's patronizing, he declared, because it says we're so fragile that we can't have our feelings hurt. We have to anticipate having our feelings hurt, our children's feelings, and we don't know how to stand up and bop that bully in the face.
Wow.
Richard Dreyfuss, kudos to you, my friend. Brilliantly put and bluntly put.
And he was handed a card he refused to play and called out as wrong because he himself has never hidden the fact he's Jewish. And I believe he's related to the guy from that Dreyfuss trial affair.
I think so. Tim the Enchanter says, so eventually white males will be underrepresented. You're right.
You would probably have to be. Although, hey, we could always have a movie about guys who run a slave boat. That could be like 5 white guys and like 300 black people. And we could just say a lot of them are dyslexic.
Yeah, that's right.
And that they're going to have drinking problems from being slaves.
Lost Wanderer, the Michael Phelps story, starring Leah Thomas, 2025 Oscar winner. Apollo 11, First Step, starring Elliot Page as Buzz Aldrin, Michael B. Jordan as Michael Collins, and Peter Dinklage as Neil Armstrong.
I want Sophia Namviet from Rings of Power to play Armstrong, but aside from that, I'm down with the cat. If you do that, this is green-lighted. We have backers for this movie.
Yup. So,
ladies and gentlemen, we are Misery Merchants here. Thank you very much. Thieves of Joy, the name of our show.
Yep. But he's right. He's
actually right. It's making sense. And like
he'll soon be canceled due to wrong think.
Exactly. Probably.
I think Richard Dreyfuss already got canceled.
I think so, but you know what?
He's already had a career.
No, he doesn't care whatsoever.
We now know why wacko Steven Spielberg and him don't get along.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg is a bit of a fucking idiot sometimes.
Yeah, at times, yes. I mean,
and he also talks like Sylvester Pussycat.
Oh, does he really?
you've never heard Steven Spielberg talk about his vision for. I'm not going to have the Spanish language degraded with English subtitles. That's why there's no subtitles in my West Side Story. Fucker and fuckatash.
That movie.
Fucker and fuckatash.
Oh, God, I never saw that movie yet.
Never saw it. No.
You know what I think we should do, Mike? Honest, I would love to do this with you. How about we do a watch party for cats?
God, no!
They've improved the
God,
movie.
no!
Listen. It's not disturbing anymore. They've added assholes to the cats.
Oh, really?
Yes,
boy.
yes.
Oh,
It's not a-
how can it
it's not a-
possibly be any better?
that was the problem before. Now the cats have assholes, and it's not weird at all. That's
So
what I
much
was
better.
told. That's what I was told. Yeah.
well,
Can you
well, let us
imagine
look
being the guy who had to do that? Fucking put the asshole on Taylor Swift for like weeks. And I pity the guy who had to do it for Rebel Wilson. It's like, how large should I make this cat's asshole?
And I thought being Hillary Clinton's gynecologist was bad.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, he's working steadily, but he's not in like big TV or any kind of movies. Like Stakeout was like the last thing I remember him doing that, and that's a long time ago with
That is.
with Charlie Sheen's Spanish brother. I believe Emilio Estevez is Hispanic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Moon over Parador, 1988. He's still Guildenkrantz and Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Might be his last good movie. Oh, hey, postcards from Carrie Fisher.
Well, you know what? I can only say this. With all these new stipulations and whatnot, it promises a bright future for John Leguizamo. So,
yeah.
You know what? It absolutely torpedoes any kind of merit-based hiring.
it does. It really does. Oh, man. Yeah. So,
It's like we'd love to take
You
you
think
on,
this
and we
could be
realize that you've written like 2 Academy Award winning screenplays, but
Yeah.
we need
Yeah.
someone who's a little more woke. You once liked a Trump tweet on Twitter, and that's going to upset a lot of our people around here because we
That's
have
right.
some But I'm a self-hating Republican. Oh, okay, we can work with that. Could you consider maybe taking opiates for a while so that you can lose your hearing, and you can yell these ideas that we don't like because you wouldn't be able to hear so good.
I only got 4 words. I was not homeschooled. So I can be a gay communist.
I'm just glad my parents gave me that chance, right? Is it
Yeah.
if you were homeschooled, you could be a gay communist, or if you went to regular school, you could be a gay communist?
Yeah. Well, either or. In this topsy-turvy world, who knows?
I went to Catholic school. I guess it could have been worse.
No, that's true.
Seriously, I've just been watching 1923. It could have been much worse.
Yeah.
Could have.
Oh, God.
Just
Well,
imagine the long-term effects on Hollywood if they make all movies according to these guidelines. Would it finally sink Hollywood?
I
Well,
don't know.
yeah.
But I think time has never been more right for a relaunch of the show Father Murphy. What do you think?
ooh. Or Father Ted.
Father Ted.
Father Ted.
Father Ted is a great show that
It
maybe
is.
some of our audience in GMT -4 may recognize this great show starring a great actor who died from a cocaine overdose at the cast party.
Did it really?
Wow.
That's why there's
Wow.
only 3 seasons of Father Ted. But you know the one with the bishops, that episode with the bishops where they sober up Father Jack?
Oh, yes.
The
Yeah, yeah.
bishops, this is a thing I didn't know. Father Ted is a satirical show in Ireland, but it might be in Northern Ireland, right? But here's the thing. The show is called Anti-Catholic by the church, but the Church of Ireland is like not against the show. They're like,
No, they're not. They
They're like,
love
it's
it.
actually and here's the thing: the priest show soap opera is a staple in Ireland, so there was actually like a need for some kind of parody of it.
Yep.
So it was like Barney Miller, but for priests.
Exactly.
Okay. Never seen an episode of it.
Oh, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Father Ted, what's great is they're only about 13 minutes long.
If you got a Roku, it's on the Roku channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
BBC America showed it for a while. They usually marathon it. It's a great show. Father Jack is always wasted, and all he yells is like girls, drink.
I know, right? Just randomly.
And when then they sober him up because they have and like you have to be a loser to go to the island.
Yep.
It's an island off the coast of Ireland. So Father Dougal is there because he's really, 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 really stupid. He has Star Wars sheets.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. It's
He's
awesome.
He's really fucking stupid. Father Jack is an absolute degenerate alcoholic, and
Yep.
he only screams random, obscene, out of context things. And Father Ted, who's in charge of everything, he's the genius of the place. He's just a thief. He stole from his last parish. And my favorite is Mrs. Poole. Just have a spot of tea.
It's great. It really is.
I may give it a try. Yeah.
When they sober up Father Jack, he opens his eyes and goes, "Wait a minute, what happened to the other two fellers?" And they're like, "Oh, not seeing double anymore, are we, Father?" Now and they give him they have to get through this visit from the bishops, so they give him 2 lines, like he's allowed to say yes, no, and that would be an ecumenical matter. And they're all impressed by his wisdom and stoicism. All the bishops are like, ooh. But those
Stephen Ransom, how's it going, dude?
Hey, Stephen. Those bishops are the stars of big-time, legitimate priest soap opera shows. So that's why that episode is actually funny in Ireland.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the BBC having fun.
So I want to thank everybody that's showed up tonight. We had Super Goji reviews that dropped in, and Tim the Enchanter, and of course the Lost Wanderer. And we had James Caserta that showed up, and also Guatemalan Rooster. I love that name. JRC99US also dropped in and said hi as well, and as well as Penny, who just popped in and then popped out again. And Carla Burton that had to whisk herself away because she had to do some actual homeschooling to help out her kids that way. And John Rendell, the big Fez brother himself, that popped on in as well too. So great to have you here, John, as well. And Foggy Brains, my buddy all the way back in New Brunswick, who I did not, and as I promised, not give away any more New Brunswick secrets on their education programs and whatnot, so I wouldn't do that. And who else dropped by? Well, and of course, our latest entry here. Just going down the list and whatnot. Yes, and of course, Stephen Ransom. So, Pop Culture Republic, give a plug or whatever it is I'm going to be doing lately to the audience out there.
Okay, well, I'm Pop. My channel is Pop Culture Republic. I'm working on doing more live streams once I manage to get things straightened out on a 10-year-old laptop I'm getting by on at the moment.
Nice.
So pretty much talk about anything that interests me, TV shows, movies, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, just anything random.
Awesome. Got anything special coming up soon?
Not at the moment. I may attempt another live stream tonight.
Cool.
As soon as I figure out some settings on OBS and my laptop.
Oh, isn't that always fun, right?
Yes,
I love that OBS.
And Admiral Teague, go ahead and plug yourself, dear sir.
Tonight we found out why I'm so dumb. My name is Admiral Teague, and I am an anti-New Trek propagandist. And apparently, according to some people, I mislead Star Trek fans with bad faith reviews of Mr. Metallis's Gift, which is another.
No.
But by the way, that's the name of the movie I'm working on now, the documentary. It's called Mr. Metallis's Gift. Adventures of a Cowardly Bald Space Robot. And I am with my channel is I'm going to put it in the chat now. You can also find me sometimes on Manorama over on Rumble. And if you do Rumble, go look for Saving Star Trek on Rumble. And and follow that because I'm only like 2 more followers away. So if you do Rumble, go to that. I don't have a hyperlink. I'm just putting it into the chat because I want to prove to you that I can read, even though I'm from New York. I will be back misrepresenting. You see, this is what's going to happen again, and this is my ultimatum right now. Comic Relief Crusader. I'm giving my ultimatum right now to Paramount. If you do not give me $300,000. But by June 15th, I will begin reviewing the show Strange New Worlds, at which point it will become bad. Now, I have this on authority from several people, and I am, of course, a thief of joy and a misery merchant. So go ahead and give me that. I mean, if you don't give me $300,000, I will review Strange New Worlds, because as we know, the only reason the New York Yankees won all those World Series is because when the ball was hooking foul, the announcer yelled it's a home run and fixed it. It was if you do not give me $300,000, I will destroy your show in the can. You have a chance right now to avoid the destruction of your show. Buy me off. I have a price just like some other critics, okay? Now, I won't endorse it, but I won't go in there and ruin it because I've been at this, and when I had a blog and I was doing things like ruining Book of Boba Fett, which, by the way, when I saw Return of the Jedi, I just couldn't get it out of my mind. But, I just get $300,000 in small unmarked bills behind the billboard at the old airport. Meet me after midnight.
Oh, God.
I'll flash my headlights 3 times. I am Admiral Teague. Join me. You will be well treated.
Ray Lacard says after watching NSW, Admiral Teague will become like his avatar.
Yeah.
I chose this avatar because this is like me watching Strange New Worlds. And today I got to discuss the episode the avatar was from with Anti-Derivative Jill, who is just a great YouTuber. And everyone should check her out. She does great stuff.
Yep.
And you can get stuff like Crazy Kooky Admiral Teague on there. He's got plenty of problems and plenty of opinions. Like, for instance, I say things like, although the musical cue might tell you that Worf isn't a murderer, he most certainly is. And this is I'll put it in the chat one more time. This is Anti-Derivative Jill's Doomsday Machine discussion, but her channel should be subbed by all in general.
Yes.
Because she is really cool. She's really nice. She's a real good person. And in this YouTube world where people will put their phaser on heavy stun and then like throw you off a cliff, she would never do that stuff. She's really nice. She's really a lot of integrity and character, and she's just a high road person, not a high horse, a high road, and we all love her. So Anti-Derivative Jill's Doomsday Machine link is in the chat now. As I hit the send button, and you should all go check that out because then you get to hear more of Admiral Teague, but a much more restrained. And then Scotty, I think his goal was to give an Admiral Teague like review. Was that when he said it was bad? Was that him trying to be me?
No, I don't think so. That's Scotty in his own Scotty kind of way, I think.
I thought that was like the idea is if you had a bad faith outlook, you could call the Doomsday Machine bad. And I just, maybe it was funny. Does it really work? Can you give a bad faith review of something that's truly good?
No, not really.
No.
I don't think that I could sit there and destroy the Doomsday Machine if I put my mind to it. It's too well done. And there's this thing called immersion that old Star Trek did that we just don't get anymore.
No.
Mike, thanks for having me. You're the best.
Yes, thank you.
Nah, it's all good, dude.
This is why I aggressively plug you on my channel.
Why, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, everyone should listen to Comic Relief Crusader.
So,
and I
for
wish
all of you guys,
Twitter worked today.
Oh, I know, right?
This out. It's all weird, right?
It is.
The direct messages are working, but tweets aren't. So I couldn't tweet this out.
So, to all of you guys that just joined up late, please catch this show on the rebound. Hit the like button. And if you're new here, please hit subscribe because it really helps me out. Because also, once we hit,
We have the same problem as last week. We can't leave with Mike on 13 likes. He'll jinx it.
I know, right?
Gotta now either somebody unlike this or someone like it right now. Don't unlike it. Unlike this. Someone like this right now. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Because the one thing is, now that I'm getting close to 750 people, we're going to be having, because every 250 subscribers, I do What's in the Box, where I take something.
Look at that.
Yep, where I take
What is
something
that?
out of my personal collection and give it to somebody once I hit 750 subscribers. I did this at
I know someone who'll love this game.
I did it at 250 subscribers. I did it at 500. I'm going to do it at 750, and I will do it once I hit 1,000 subscribers. So once we hit 750, I will do a special broadcast and give away to some lucky winner out there in the chat something out of my private collection and give it to you for free, because that's the kind of guy that I am. So please like and subscribe and spread the news around of this channel. It really helps me out.
Yes.
And you know what? And especially this episode, because, you know, we went over what's going on with the Academy Awards and all the new stipulations and stuff like that. So you will know now here first why a lot of movies that are going to be coming out are really going to be sucking.
And we did it. We got you to 14 likes. Now, can we get Admiral Teague to 150 subs? Someone can be number 150.
Exactly. Somebody will be 150, and he will love you and hug you and call you George. So,
You will level up like 3 full numbers in your 1 to 10 rating.
there we go.
So if you're already like a 9, you'll be like a 12. Look set to stun. Set to stun,
Yes.
like Worf never sets his phaser. Worf's phaser is set to delete.
Yep.
All the time.
Let's see. And Ray says, speaking of Star Trek, my brother was on the edge of a seat with City on the Edge of Forever.
Now that's a great episode.
That is a good episode. So, but anyway, I'm going to call it a night because it is getting late here, and I'm sure that everybody is getting tired, probably, especially you, Teague, being all the way out in New York City. And please catch this on the rebound. Please spread this around. And, you know, like I said before, it really helps me out with my channel to grow and get me a little bit closer to monetization as well. So that'd be great. And check out what I have coming out on Thursday. And I think maybe I might be on Pop Culture Breakdown tomorrow. I don't want to say for sure, but maybe.
Cool.
But catch that show also, because Fet for Hire has put together a compilation of videos for Doomcock, because it was his birthday, or it is his birthday, or will be his birthday. And that will be on Pop Culture Breakdown tomorrow on Doomcock's channel. And yours truly has sent him a birthday message or a birthday video.
Oh, cool.
So stay tuned, and I hope your eyes don't melt out of your sockets. That's all I have to say. So to from everybody on the channel to and on this panel to everybody out in the chat, I hope you guys had a good old time and a good laugh and whatnot. We try our best here. And stay tuned next week for another Titillating Tuesdays. And please subscribe to these fine gentlemen here. And we'll wish you a good night and happy week.
Yeah. Night all.
Have a great week, everybody. And hey, Mike, thanks again.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
Thank you.
And see you later, guys. We will catch you next week on another Titillating Tuesdays.
More Hewlett